Great. Very good evening, everyone. Strength looks amazing. So already Pongal fever I can see. So I think many people have already left for their hometowns. Okay, no problem. Celebrate. So I think in the last class we were discussing about what? Hypertext. So we have seen there is a tag known as anchor tag and one tag but many possibilities, correct? So tell me, what are the use cases of anchor tag? Anyone can stand up and answer. What is the use of an anchor tag? Different uses. Anyone can stand up and answer. I don't want group answers. Let me see any courageous people are there in this class. Using anchor tag we can create a clickable text. Great. So what are the different use cases is my question. Yesterday we have seen many use cases, right? Those use cases, at least some 3 to 4 you can mention. You can download, okay, great. You can download a file. You can make sure it is opening email, great. Sorry? For scrolling in the same page, great. That's it. Fine, great. Sit down. Anyone else? All the use cases of anchor tag. Anyone? Only one student has student answer. What about others? If you don't stand, I will make you to stand and answer. Option is yours. Yes, anyone? Okay. Guys, make sure you are participating actively when something is asked for you, because see, this is not whether to judge you whether you are good or not. No one is here to judge you. You should realize that this is an opportunity. So in a crowd of 100 plus people, if you are showing that courage to stand and answer, doesn't matter whether it is correct or wrong, that itself will prove 99% of the people are nothing. So you will be definitely one step ahead of entire crowd, and that is the only intention. I am asking you questions to make you to stand and speak, because lot of things you will realize that you will gain some confidence. So next time when you get an opportunity to speak in front of a crowd, you will not think twice. Are you understanding? But if you still, oh no, I will not stand, what will others think? Others will always think something. What you are thinking about yourself is the question. Are you understanding? If you think about others, you can't survive. So please make sure when I ask you, utilize that opportunity. Doesn't matter whether you are a butler English also, I don't care. You should stand and speak, that's it. Wrong answer, correct answer also, I don't care. Anyways, yesterday we have seen that anchor tag has multiple use cases where if you click, you can redirect a user to a different website. URL you can pass. Point number 2, the same URL, if it should open in a new tab, I should make sure target _ blank I should give. Third option is, if someone wants to download a file, it can be a PDF, it can be a doc, it can be audio, it can be video. Have you tried with other multimedias? I think it is working for that also. So if you want to open a file, you can use anchor tag, but same file, you want to download it, you should use download attribute. But you want to give your custom name for it. Download equal to whatever name you give, that will be reflected for the user. Similarly, you can also make one more HTML page to open with your anchor tag, which means you have multiple HTML pages. If you click one place, it will go to one more HTML page in the website, in the browser. That is possible. In the same page, navigation is possible by using IDs. IDs you should have created and you should have called in the anchor tag using hash. So this is what we have seen. But few special cases, like if someone clicks on a mail, Gmail should open. If someone clicks on mobile number, dialer will open. Have you tried in your mobile phones? How many of you yesterday tried clicking that mail to is opening Gmail? If you click on mobile phone number, dialer open, raise your hands. How many of you tried? It is working perfectly. Great. Others do check bhajane. Others do bhajane. Okay? Because I clearly told you, make sure you are trying. If you are not trying, you will not understand. Others, your dialers open, whoever has created, great. So that is what you should realize, how websites make your dialer to open the mobile number, customer support numbers, all those things will open. That is what we have seen yesterday. Great. After that, we started with something known as iframe tag. What is an iframe tag? To integrate or embed another website or maybe Google Maps or YouTube playlist or something like that. Have you guys went back and tried all those things? Great. Yesterday I have given you a task. What is the task? Upload a video to Google Drive, take that link and show it for the user in the HTML. Have you done that? Yes. Have you got it? Yes. So if you have used your second brain, not your brain, second brain if you have used, it could have told you in the URL of that Google Drive, last part you should remove and you should make it as preview. Same thing. So that if you do, easily you will get. Some people are thinking, hey, what this fellow is speaking. Yesterday you should have attended my class and listened what I asked for you. Did you use video tag or iframe? iframe tag only you should use. Video tag if you use, it will not work. What I mean to say is, observe. If you are in a shock what I am speaking, listen. So if I just go over here and open a Google Drive, where is the drive? Okay. Not this, 1 second. Okay, observe. I'll just go to my Google Drive like this and I know that it's not visible, 1 second. So in Google Drive, I'll just go to one folder known as asset. Nothing is there, okay. So 1 second, let me go to my drive. So HTML, CSS, I'll go to day 1 in that asset. So whatever trailer 1, song 1, all those things you're able to see over here. First, let us see whether it works or not. Sound, I should mute it. This video only is our first trailer. Now what I'm trying to say is, if GitHub is saying, hey, my limit is 25 MB and all, you do one thing, you take this link and embed in your particular HTML. So how to take a link, if you ask me, there are a few settings which you should take care. First and foremost, before clicking share, see once you click on share, before copying the link, what you should do is, just click on share and make sure the link is available for anyone, not restricted. If you say restricted, it will not work. Are you understanding? First option is just make sure link is available for everyone. Next, copy the link. Now what you should do is go back to your Visual Studio. So this one was yesterday, so I'll just eliminate everything. Observe. I'll just bring that structure for you. Now over here, if I use video tag, 1 second, let me tell you one thing. As the discussion came, your HTML is case insensitive. Doesn't matter capital or small, it will work. But your Java, your C, your C++, every programming language is case sensitive. But markup languages are case insensitive, not an issue, but will not break the conventions. Always people type in lowercase only. So I'll just use video tag. And in source, if I paste this, it will not work. Are you understanding? So now if I just click on open with live server, you can see nothing is there. Okay, sir, controls missing, sir. Okay, I'll just go over here and give controls. It will not work. In the sense, video is visible, but it will never play because a Google Drive video link, directly video tag will not understand. Your browser will restrict it. Instead, yesterday we have learnt something known as iframe. Just go and give iframe like this, and inside iframe's source, you paste that link. Now if I save it, if I go over here, you can see there is one option. Google Drive needs some access, it seems, because directly you cannot open the link. Now there is one small jugaad you can do. What is that, if you ask me? If I just go to the last thing, after slash, can you see that view, question mark, sharing? Eliminate. Just say preview, P-R-E-V-I-E-W, end of the story. If I save it, if I go back, now successfully video will play. Are you understanding? Now height and width and all you should adjust, that is according to your use case. Now observe, we'll adjust the height and width as well. Usually landscape videos will have a ratio known as aspect ratio, 16:9, I think you might have heard. So in that way only I can give the height and width. So I'll just go and say height. If it is landscape, height is more or width is more? Common sense, width is only more. So I'll just go and say height is somewhere between 360 pixels and width is nothing but 640 pixels. This is standard height and width for 16:9. No need to by heart, it will become subconscious, don't worry. If I save it, if I go back, now I hope you are able to see, this is 100% of the screen, okay? You can see it is playing. Are you understanding? Now this if you can do, now there is no restriction of GitHub and all. Are you understanding? Now full screen am I able to do? No. What should I do? Allow full screen, there is one attribute. Have you remembered? So I can just go over here and say one extra attribute known as allow full screen. That's all. Now if I go, you can see, if I click on play, each one of you can see full screen is also accessible. Did you understand? So I think the possibility you have got. But few limitations are there. Autoplay you can't give. Thumbnail also you can't give. Poster attribute for video what you have given, that you can't give. So these are the limitations. Now tell me, will you prefer video tag or iframe? Just because we are learning iframe, we will prefer iframe. So the disadvantages are poster you can't give. Next, autoplay, loop, all those things you can't give. So choice is yours. It depends upon your use case. Are you understanding? So both will work is what I am showing you. The potential, whatever the things are possible I am showing you. Anyways, so I think one more use case of iframe you got to know. So if you have noticed carefully, Google Maps is a product of Google. It's a product of Google. YouTube is also Google product. So now even your Drive is also Google product. So every Google product using iframe you can do it. This much clarity you got it? Great. Before class, what was the before class? Previous class. What is the previous class? Java class, right? What did you learn in Java? Methods you learned. You understood what is an argument, what is a parameter, how is a method called, stack frame, all those things you understood. That is why you are sleeping now. I can see your faces. People are listening like this. What happened? Like anything tragedy happened in Java class? You didn't have your tea break? Come, let's go and have some tea. No. Be a bit active, my dear friends. You came afternoon, you ate lunch, came and slept in Java class for some time. But your Kshitij sir told methods are very important. Then you realized, okay, methods are important, let me see. So you spent your full attention on your Java class, but now you realize, oh, let me sleep in HTML class, easy only, no? So what is going in your brains, I can understand. Because I have seen multiple batches from the last 3 to 4 years. Today what we are going to learn, this already we understood, done and dusted with iframe. Now what we are going to learn is very, very essential. Not just for HTML, you take any technology, compulsory it is required, that is none other than forms. So forms is such a crucial concept. It will actually define how well you know how to take the user data and validate in the backend. So today, that is one second, some overlapping is happening. Let me close it. Okay. So I call it as the bridge between you and the world. Why? Why, if you ask me? See, whatever these forms you are able to see, every day you are filling a form without your notice. Sir, what are the forms I am speaking about? You might think, sir, Google form is a form. That's it. No. That is one of the form. But let me tell you, today also you have filled a form. Can you guess and tell me which form you have filled today? Sorry? You have filled any form today? No. If you have filled, you can let me know. Have you filled any forms today? Yes. So what I am trying to say is, every day, though you are not noticing it, you are filling a form. So today, you want to practice in Thai portal. Before opening your particular Thai portal, login is compulsory, login form. Why so much? You are coming and taking attendance, right? He is scanning the QR code. The taking data of your QR code, that is also a form. But you are not realizing. WhatsApp chatting, you are entering some data into a particular input, that is a form. Payment, if you are making Google Pay, you are paying some amount by entering that amount, that is a form. But let me tell you, everything is a form, but you don't realize it. So there are many things in the form that you should learn, because form is the most important thing that if you want to collect the data from the user. Correct? So we need to master forms. In front end we will see, but in back end how validations are happening. In advanced Java you will learn it. So we will focus on the structure in front end, how form should look, how to collect the data from the user we will see. Clear? Great. So today's class is going to be extremely important and extremely interesting also if you stay focused. If you are sleeping, God only should help you. Okay? Observe. Every time when you go to Amazon or any e-commerce, Book My Show, first you will go and enter a form that is known as login form. Today people are very curious to go to some movies. Book My Show you'll open. Login is there for Book My Show also. That is also a form. Which movie you are going to watch? Holiday you have, no? I thought that it's good movie. But people are disappointed. Okay, no comments. So what I'm trying to say is this Amazon login form is also a form. Why so much? I just wanted to announce one thing. So if you just go to your Thai portal, you might have seen two banners. Cognizant is hiring and Deloitte is hiring. IBM is also hiring. Among them, 2026 also someone is hiring. I'm not sure. Which company? So Deloitte is hiring 2026 people. Kindly apply. I'm saying right. How will you apply? One application form will open, which means whichever particular job application forms you are able to see, that is also form only. You are filling all your details, right? Why so much? If you go to Flipkart, you'll make some payment, Google Pay, Phone Pay, anywhere. Everything, payment also is a form itself, because ultimately you're entering something. You can see this looks like a button selection. So you'll type something, that is a form. Forget about all these things. You're actually using WhatsApp, right? So WhatsApp is also a form. Oh, what is there? Okay, let us read. What is this? No idea. What? No idea. What? What do you mean? Okay, you must understand me. You don't. Okay, anyway, you change by. So what I'm trying to say is, even your WhatsApp on day-to-day basis, what you're using is a form. Now, among all these things, what is common? Taking the date, form is common. Correct only, to up to some extent. But if you observe, what is a common thing is, everyone is taking your data. You're trying to enter the data. So, long story short, wherever in any application, if you see you're typing something, it's a form, that's it. You heard me right? If you're typing something, why so much? Search box you will see on the top, that is also a form. Are you understanding? Everything is under forms itself. Are you understanding? Great. Very simple itself, not complicated. So to learn forms, first you should understand how does a form work. So today you know that, yes sir, I'll enter the details, but if I click on continue, what will happen? That is most important. So in the backend, something is going to happen. When I say backend, not backend technology. In the background, something else will happen. What is that? Let us try to understand. I will bring one form for you. Every day you are seeing this form. Which form? Thai portal login form. Now you will go, you will give your correct email ID, you will give your correct password, you will say continue. If it is correct, dashboard of Thai portal is going opening. Now how is the dashboard getting opened is the question. Something should be happening, right? Some validation is happening. Who is doing that validation? Let us try to understand. Very simple itself. Imagine I'll give you your email ID, password, continue. What will happen? Your dashboard will open like this. Correct? So your dashboard will open and then you will start solving some assignments. Now the question is, how did the transformation happen? From login page, how did you get this particular page is the question. So let us try to understand. Very simple. Imagine this is your form. Now ultimately whatever data you are giving, where is it going? General knowledge I am asking. It is going to the Thai portals database. So we also have created a database. We also have our own server. When our student enters the data, when they click on continue, what will happen if you ask me? Readily our server is ready to receive the data, because both are interconnected with each other with internet. So now what will happen is, when you click on login, one request is sent for the server. Now inside server what will happen? We will try to understand. Your login and your password will be took. Now this in server will try to fetch the data from the database. There might be some functions or methods which are executing to check whether your entered email and the existing database email is matching or not. Yes, matching. Great. Password which you entered, password which is there already stored in the database, both are matching or not. Yes, matching. If it is correct, then one condition will execute, and then what will happen if you ask me? One response you will get. And what is that response if you ask me? Your dashboard. Are you understanding? You will get your dashboard, which means ultimately what a server is responding back, a HTML page only. And of course CSS is also there, you can just think about it. So what a server will respond back, if you ask me, a brand new HTML CSS page. This much clarity you are getting. But the biggest question is, how will that guy send the data? How will this guy send the HTML? But for today, I can't discuss this part because it is a back-end part. I can discuss this part, which means how to create a form, how to send the data. These things we can discuss. What are the different ways to send the data? So all those things, client side I will speak, but server side in the database class, in the back-end classes you will learn. In the sense, advanced Java classes. This much clarity you are getting? Great. Let us create a simple login form with which full clarity you will get. So now what I would like to create is, I would like to create that form. Tell me what are the things there over here? Very simple. Name, so one dialog box to enter name. Email, one dialog box to enter email. Password, one dialog box to enter password. And one submit button. Very simple only. Now how to create this is the question. If you want to create a form in HTML, which tag you should use? Form tag only you should use. See how smart you guys are. Just illusion, that's it. So yes, you are actually correct, you should use a form tag. But inside form tag what you should do is the question. Very simple, I'll give you a small analogy. If you go to flashback, maybe 4th class, 5th class, somewhere like that. When summer holidays comes, you will enjoy like anything, but the moment June comes, sadness also will start. One side sadness is there, another side some happiness is also there. What? You will get new books, you will get new textbooks, that smell will be good. So many new books, new pens, correct? A new bag also. What? Okay. Then you will say one list of all the items. So what I am trying to say is, when you get new books, what is the first thing your parents will suggest you to do? First one, wrapper you will buy, right? Brown color, orange color, maybe transparent, that was trending that time. After that what you will do? One sticker you will put, no? Correct? In that sticker what you have? Name, one space to type, write some name, standard, class, section, subject, all those things will be there. Don't you think it is also similar to that only? Are you understanding? Now what was the name of that sticker? Label, which means this is also label only. Are you understanding? Name text you are able to see, that we call it as a label. Are you understanding? Which means this particular thing, name if you want to give in a form, label tag you should use. That's it. Similarly, what is this particular dialog box used for? To take input only. Input tag you should use, that's all. Are you understanding? So label, input. So ultimately, inside a form, what are the two primary tags? Label, input, label, input, label, input, that's all. Are you understanding? Such a simple concept. So ultimately, label inputs should be enclosed within a form tag, that's all. Form done. Are you understanding? But there are few things which you should notice. Name, type of content will be different. Sometimes email content will be different, password content is different, which means, technically speaking, there are different types of inputs in this world. Text is an input, number is an input, drop down have you seen in the form? That is also one type. Radio buttons have you seen? Only one, you should be able to choose only one option. Check boxes have you seen? Multiple options. So all these are different types of inputs. In some of the forms, if you select a date, something will be there, calendar will open, that is also one of the type. So if you have ever typed a password, automatically it is hidden, bullet points you will get, password is also a type. Are you understanding? So form ultimately will have different input types, that's all. So if you know more types, you know forms better. So let us quickly create this, very simple itself. So I'll just go back to my Visual Studio, observe. So I'll just create a brand new folder. So today is day 6, right? So I'll just create a brand new folder known as day 6. And over here, I'll create a brand new file known as login form, okay? I'll just say login form.html. Great. Observe. So ultimately, first the structure is very important. I'll just go and say login form is the title as well. Now I want you to think and tell me what is the first thing I should actually give in the particular body. Form tag, directly you can say form. Now if you notice one thing, form opening, some attribute you are able to see, action attribute. This you ignore for the time being, just focus on the structure. Now, tell me what is the first thing that you are able to see? Login as a text you are able to see? That is simple, maybe one H2 or H3 you can use. I'll just go and say one H3 and it is nothing but login, that's it. You can give it outside also, no problem, that is completely your choice. So, to not make you confused, I'll keep it outside only. So, I'll keep it in the body directly. Now observe. Tell me, you want name, one input box. How to create name? Label tag. So, just go and say label. So, between the label, you should type that text name. That's it. So, now for attribute, you can ignore for the timing. I'll tell you in a moment. But this much clarity, you got it. After label, what should I say? Input tag is there. So, I should just go and say input. Okay, I'll say input. But if you have noticed one thing, type of input is text. Your name is text only, right? Are you understanding? So, type is text. This much clarity, you got it? Great. Now, let me, this much output I will show you so that you will get some clarity. If I click on show preview, I hope you are able to see. That's it. Did you get the point? Great. Now, I'll go to the next line. Or by the way, if you notice one thing, it is coming one beside the other, but my expectation says that I want one below the other. Can you tell me what is happening over here? What kind of elements are label and input? Those are inline elements. Have I told you day before yesterday? Inline element means what? They will not actually cause a line break. They will share the space. Now what I should do is, you should forcefully create one break. What is the tag? BR tag, break tag, which means after the label, I will just go and say BR, break, that's it. Now if I save it, if I open my preview, you can clearly notice. This much clarity, you got it? Great. Okay, sir. Now you should tell me what is the next thing I should do. Sorry? Label. So I'll just go and say label. What is the text? Email. So I'll just type like this as it is. Next. Okay, break tag. After that, input tag. Now the question is, when you enter email, what can be the possible type? Text only, but actually no. There is a separate type known as email. So which means I can just go. Can you see some suggestions you are able to see? I'll just search. You can see input type email. You can see correctly you got input type email. Now that name attribute, ID attribute, ignore for the time being. It's none of the business at this moment. You can just ignore. This much clarity, you got it? Last but not least, password. So I can just go here and say one label, and what content should be visible, that I will type it as password. Next, one break tag also is compulsory. After that, input. Now the question is, what can be the type of that particular text? Password. If you just scroll a bit down, you can see there is input type known as password. That's it. So I can just use name, ID, you ignore for the time being. That's all. Your form is done. Last but not least, one submit button you are able to see. What is that if you ask me? That is also input only. But input type itself is submit. Are you understanding? Which means I can just go here and say input. One second. I'll say input, and input type is none other than submit. If I scroll all the way till last, so you can see over here there is a submit. That's all. Now let us see the output for better clarity. If I just click on show preview, I hope you are able to see. Now I want you to tell me, there is one problem. What is the problem? After input also break you should give. Why? Because input is also inline element, which means one thing is missing. So after input also one break, this input also I'll give one break. That's it. Even after password also I'll give one break. So this value I'll just ignore it. Great. This much clarity you got it. Now observe, if I just open with my preview, every one of you can clearly notice. Maybe blue color and all we can't get right now. We will see it later. But I think structure is clear for everyone. Any doubts in this aspect? No. Now observe, I just wanted to open with browser because that mini browser is not fully fledged functional. So I'll not open with that. So instead of that, I'll just open with my browser. Observe. Great. So now I'll just click on open with live server. Each one of you can see the same form. Now let us try to enter some data. So I'll say my name is Harshit, my email ID, official email ID is hrshit@thetapacademy.com. This is my official email ID. And I can give any password. Now you just observe, I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because you told the input type is password, automatically bullet points you're able to see. But if you say input is text, password will be visible. Now if I click on submit, nothing will happen. Now you can see that you can just ignore. But did you see the pop-up? That pop-up is because of the type password. Are you understanding? So now the question is, where is data? Where did it go? Nothing, it is in the air only. Because you have not given the data of the server. You go to that server, have you told? No. But structure is clear for everyone? Great. So this is how we create forms. Did you understand? That's it. Now, few things to be noticed over here. What is that if you ask me? Observe. If you carefully notice, submit button, if you tell input type submit, it will work. There is one more approach. You can just give input, it will work. But if you say button also, it works. It looks like a button only. So now what you should do is, one more way to give submit. Just go and say button tag. Can you see? Now this button, simply if you say it will not work like submit, there is one attribute known as type. And if I say type, do you want that button to be normal button? No. Reset button? No. Submit button? Just go and say submit. But the problem is, if I go over here, see, empty. Why? Because between button, did you give any text? No. So I can just go and say, now the difference between input tag and button tag is, input by default will show submit as a text, but button tag custom text you can give, which means I can say click here to submit, anything I can give. But this flexibility I don't have in my input tag. If I save it, if I go here, you can see, still it acts like a submit button only, but with custom text. So choice is yours. If you simply want submit, input only use. No sir, I want custom text, use button tag. But both functionalities are same. This much clarity, you got it? Great. Now observe. If you notice, yes, everything is great. But if you want to make, sir, exactly can I make to look it like that? Yes, but you should know CSS. If you know CSS, you can make it better and better. So now, I'll just show you a glimpse, okay? If you want that particular button, this form to look like that, few things to be noticed. First and foremost, this I'll make it as submit itself. Now, first, let us try to apply some CSS so that you'll get some clarity. What is the potential, okay? So let me open with my preview itself so that side by side we can see. Tell me, what are the few things that I can apply? Okay, 1 second. Let me close this particular thing. This is not required. Yeah. Tell me what we can do. Login, what do you call, the text doesn't look good, right? So font family we can change. So again, what I'm typing, don't think about it, just it's a glimpse. So I'll just go and say style tag. Over here I'll just say what is the login, it's a H3. So I'll just say H3. And you can give whatever font family you want. I'll say font family is Arial. You can say it changed. And again, I'll teach you in CSS, don't worry about it, okay? Next, you want to change the color also, you can change, but in our use case, the color was black only, so I'll keep it as it is. Okay. What is the next thing? So it should be in the middle, correct? That we will see it later. Now if you notice one thing carefully, my entire form also font family is different. So I'll just go and select my, we'll do one thing, I'll just go and say form. I hope you're able to see, that you ignore what I'm typing, but styling is getting changed, great. If you notice one thing, over here, some space if it was there, it could have been better, right? So what I can do is, I'll just go and say, maybe above the label, I want some margin. So I'll say margin on top, maybe some 10 pixels. Yeah. So I hope maybe it's not reflecting over here, but we'll do one thing. I'll just give some padding, whether it will work or not. I hope you're able to see like that. You can just adjust according to your use cases, but I'm just giving a glimpse, okay? So like this, whatever changes you wanted, you can make it. Now what I will do is, I'll say margin on bottom, maybe some 5 pixels I would like to give. Okay, this box model property doesn't work, but I hope you're able to see some space which is not negligible, but if I make it as, for example, 50 pixels, this is not getting reflected. Okay, no problem. So I'll just say 10 pixels. Next, let us assume above this button I want some space. Then what you can do is, instead of label, I'll just say button tag. So I'll say margin on top. You can see some space over here. If I make it as 50, you can see, which means that is all CSS, we can see it later. At the same time, can you see one border for that button? I don't like that border. Can you see one background color, some gray color? I don't want that also. Which means I can just go and say background, none. You can see background gone, but border is there. Do you want border? No. I can just go and say border also is none. That's it. But still it is button only. Are you understanding? Now observe. We will change the background color. So I'll just say background color should be blue. Of course, sir, font color doesn't look good, sir. So I can just go over here and say color of the font should be white so that we can match. I think it is matching. Maybe the color of blue was a bit lighter in shade. So I can just reduce that however I want. Now, what is the next thing? Can you see some space is there around that particular button? I can just go and say padding and I can say some 10 pixel. It looks too much, so we'll say 5 pixel. Did you understand? The next thing is, sir, it looks a bit curved. So you can just go and say border radius and you can say some 5 pixel. So n number of possibilities are there, but I am just showing you what are the possible things. Sir, font doesn't look good. Just go and say font family and you can just say, for example, I'll say Arial itself. Sir, I want a bit bold, so just go and say font weight and I'll say maximum. But doesn't look good, but still, I hope you are understanding. So that is the potential of CSS. Lot of things are there, but this much if you know, sufficient. All these things you learn separately, but I am just giving you a glimpse. Now what is my expectation is, for my entire form, I want one border. So I can just go and say border, maybe some 2 pixel, which is a solid black color or maybe dark gray. Are you understanding? Now the problem is, oh, this was actually enclosed even for your H1 also, that is a H3 also. So this I'll give it separately. So I'll just say the font family is Arial. Now, if you have noticed one thing, that border also doesn't look good, right? So what I can do is, I can also give some space for this particular form by saying padding some 10 pixels. Did you understand? Sir, why is that border going all the way till last? Come this side. Okay. You can just go over here and say width of the form is too much. I'll just adjust it to 400 pixel. So still not sufficient. I'll say 300 pixel. Still not sufficient. I'll say 100 pixel. This is too less. So I'll just go and say 200. Somewhat better. Next, I can just go over here and say border radius and I'll say some 20 pixel. Did you understand? So this is the potential of your CSS. So this entire form should be in the middle of the page. Should be that corner, this corner. All those things also you can control. Are you understanding? But in today's class, we should not focus on CSS. We should focus on the functionalities of a form. Are you understanding? Great. I will show you something else which is very interesting. Observe. If I go and say box shadow, ignore what I am typing. So I'll say 10 pixel, 20 pixel and 100 pixel. I'll say which color? Green color. You can see glow. So n number of possibilities are there. I told you, I am only telling you, HTML is very boring. CSS is very interesting. So lot of things you can do. So you can also give different colors also. All those things we will see. But I hope you are understanding. Now this entire background you are able to see, right? I don't like white color. I'll just go and say select the entire page and say the background color is black. Now what you should do is, you should make sure the font color is white. Why? Because the default font color in HTML is black. So I'll just go and say color, maybe yellow, white, whatever you want. I hope you're understanding. So just by few lines of code, you changed its fate 360 degrees. Are you understanding? So the look and feel is completely by your CSS. One more thing, everything looks good, but these inputs are not looking good, right? So I can just make this also rounded corner, which means I can just go and say that. So I'll just select the input tag and I will just say you also have one curvature. So I'll say border radius is 10 pixel. Too much. I'll say 5 pixel. Somewhat better. Are you understanding? So like this you can control. See, can you say border is straight line? You can change to dotted line, dashed line, whatever you want. So if I just go over here I don't want to exaggerate, sufficient. So many things are there, but again this will become a CSS class. Don't worry, have that patience. CSS class after Pongal will start. Okay. Anyways, so now the question is, okay sir, all the CSS we don't require right now. You might say, let us only focus on HTML. Why did I create that? Because using CSS, so visible it will look good. That is the only reason. Okay. Now observe. Now few things you should notice. If you click on submit, it should go to the server of the iPortal. Now that server means computer only. That will have one IP address, but that IP address is converted into DNS. It will have one URL. That URL of the server you should provide in the action attribute. Are you understanding? Which means in the action attribute, what you should substitute? URL of server. But server have we created as of now? No. In advanced Java classes, you will create a server, there you will see. But I hope you are understanding. Now, as of now, I don't have my server. So what I can do is, I can just give any particular website link. For example, imagine I'll give Netlify only link. You can give anything, no problem. So I'll just take this particular URL, I'll copy, I'll go over here, I will substitute. But I'm just giving an example. But over there, actually your server URL will be there. Are you understanding? Okay. So, okay sir, now what will happen? Now observe, when someone clicks on submit, action attribute will trigger, which means all this data will be sent to whom? Will be sent to this particular thing. Are you understanding? Now observe. So, there are few things which you should notice. What is this for? What is this for if you ask me? Simple. Why did you create this label? For name only, right? That is only thing. For means name, which means it is not mandatory. You can give whatever you want. I can just go and say name. You can say first name. You can say anything. That completely depends on what your backend is expecting. Are you understanding? At this moment, we are just focusing on UI, user interface. Functionalities and all we are not focusing, but still I will teach you functionalities also. Next, now if you notice one thing, there are two most important attributes for input. What is that if you ask me? Number one is name, and number two is ID, and number three, there is one more attribute known as value. But what is this name, value? You might get confused. I'll explain you, don't worry. See, name means what? You're trying to say, you're giving a name for this input. Tell me what is a name? Name only. Are you understanding? Because ultimately this input is for name only, first name. So you can just go and say name is actually name, or maybe to not make you confused, I'll say first name. This was first name. What is the ID? And now it's very important. Whatever for attribute you are maintaining, the same thing if you give ID, it is better. Now why it is better, all those things, I will speak about it later. So search engine optimizations, there are many things. So over there, ID and name should match exactly, okay. So whatever ID I wanted to give, this can match with name, or maybe it can match with for also. We'll do one thing, just we'll maintain everything as same. Why sir, if you ask me, you're telling to your browser, to your SEO, what you're trying to say is, this label is for this input, both are associated with each other. You know as a human being, but browser should know, right? Internet should know, right? That is the reason. Are you understanding? So you told something known as value attribute. Should I give over here? You should not give, because value, who will give? User will give. Are you understanding? But if I give value, what will happen? Observe. I'll just go and say value. What's your name? Your name. No need to stand. Oh, very difficult spelling. Any easy spelling you can say. Okay, Pavan itself, sorry. So I'll just go and say Pavan. What happened? See, I told value over here, you can see it is getting reflected. It is like you are giving the form for the user and telling this is only the data. Then why did you give form? Are you realizing? Value attribute for inputs which user will type, you should not give. But for whom you should give? For drop down you should give. For radio buttons you should give. For check boxes you should give. Are you understanding? So I hope you understood. So value attribute, unfortunately you should not give over here. But in some places you should give it. But is form clear for everyone? Great. Now what we will do is, we will build one large form with which full clarity you will get. But before that, first if you understand this small form, large form will make sense. Now the question is, observe. Over here, yes, submit button you are saying, when you click on submit, this entire data will be passed to this particular URL, which means this URL will open actually. Are you understanding? Now observe. Let us complete this form. First and foremost, form tag action attribute is fine, but apart from this attribute, there is one more attribute. That is none other than a HTTP method attribute. There are two options. One is get, one is post. Do you want to post the data or get the data? Post the data. From your client, you are sending the data to the server, means it is post. And again, all these methods you learn it in advanced Java, just I am giving a glimpse, okay? Great. Now observe. Label, only one attribute we will use, which is for. Now what should be there over here? It is your choice. Understanding? Great. Now over here, type is text, and most importantly, name and ID also should be there. Next, this label, what is the purpose of this label? Email only, so I'll say email. Now for this particular type, I'll just go and say name attribute, which is again email itself, and 1 second, I'll say email. See, now I'm typing, maybe it is very boring for you, but in just 5 minutes you'll realize why I'm typing all these things. Observe. I'll just go and say ID also is compulsory. I'll say ID is also email only. So I'll just say email. You just tell me, in one form, only one time you'll ask ID, email ID, right? Two times will you ask? No, right? So that is the reason it can be any ID. Unique identification. Next, label. What is the purpose of this label? For password, just go and say password. Next, input. Type you are taking password, great, but what is the name? I'll say password only. To make your life easy, I'm giving everything is same, okay? But in reality, you can change to whatever you want. What is ID? Password only. You can say password. Now my question is, for password, should I give value attribute? Which means user password you only type, is what you are trying to say. So all those things you should not. Now observe very carefully. I will save it. I'll open with my live server. You can see form got opened. Now observe. I'll type my name. And by the way, there is one problem over here. I'll again refresh. Yes, name, I know to type the name, but I am not sure. I'm illiterate. I don't know what to type. If an example is there, it could have been better. In some of the forms, in transparent, you can see some example. To give that, there is one attribute, and that is none other than placeholder. Are you understanding? Placeholder. Imagine if a user directly goes and click on submit, it will directly get submitted. Oh, sorry for that. It will directly get submitted. But name is compulsory. Email is also compulsory. Password is also compulsory, which means to user you should say, without filling all these things, you can't click on submit. These all are important fields, required fields. So the second attribute which you should learn is none other than required. 1 second, sorry for that. So let me see what is the problem. Yeah, I think now it is visible. So you should say placeholder, for example, required to make sure it is mandatory. Now observe. So now if I go back, tell me what is the first thing? Placeholder. Now the question is, where should I give placeholder? Input or label? Input only, common sense, okay? So I'll just go over here and say, after this input type, name, ID, I'll just go over here and say placeholder. As a string, it is expecting something. That example you should give, I'll say EX, and I'll give my name only. Understanding? Next, email ID also. I'll just go over here. After this ID, I'll say one placeholder. Oh, sorry. I'll just say placeholder, and I'll say example@gmail.com. Are you understanding? Next, password. You should give placeholder. A person who has some common sense will never give. Because password user will know, but if you want, you can give ABCD, special character, something like that. Are you understanding? That is your choice. Anyways, so now you just observe over here. Now if I save it, if I go over here, now can you see that examples? Transparently, can you see that? That's it. But still now if you notice, if I click on submit, automatically it is getting submitted. But I don't want this to happen. Observe. What I will do is, first name is compulsory. Yes. So I'll just go over here and say, it is compulsory means required, you should say. Similarly, email is also important. I'll just go over here and say required. Boring, huh? Tell me genuinely. Sir, boring, sir, stop. Boring, huh? I'll open the door, you can happily walk away. Okay, observe. So I'll just go over here. Password is also compulsory. I'll just go over here and say required. Now observe. If I just go over here, if I click on submit, something amazing is going to happen. Please fill out this field. Did I write the code for this text? No, just one attribute required. Are you understanding? Similarly, if I just go over here and if I just click on this particular email, I'll not type it, but if I click on submit, see, it is still saying without entering name, how can you go to email? Which means I'll just go and say my name like this. Now observe, if I click on submit, see now email is important. Did you understand? Now these behaviors in many forms you might have seen, right? Now what is the science behind it? Required attribute, that's all. So now I can just go and type some email ID. You can see some suggestions over here. I'll just give my email ID. Now if I click on submit, will it get submitted? Password is also important. Now observe, I can just give one password. So I'll just say 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. I hope you're understanding. Now the question is, if I click on submit, will any warning come right now? No. Now, what is the action attribute URL I have given? Netlify.com, which means if I click on submit, Netlify dashboard will open. That's it. I hope you understood. Now observe. If I click on submit, you can clearly notice Netlify got opened. But that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is, let us try to do one thing. I'll not give URL itself. Let me close it for the time being, because I want to show you something which is very important. Observe. Okay, let me go back. Great. Now you just observe. Once I give password, did you see password automatically or disappeared? Why? Because security reasons. You might have noticed in many places, email will be like that only, name also will be like that only, but password will be automatically deleted. Sir, who is doing all these things? Browser. Are you understanding? Now observe. I'll just give some password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now if I click on submit, again it is going to the same thing. I think I have not saved it. So let me save it and refresh. 1 second. Yeah. So I'll just give some random password. Now if I click, again it is opening on the same thing. Okay, 1 second. We'll do one thing, action attribute. Let me open with live server. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Now I hope you are able to see. So correctly it is working. This much clarity you got it? Great. So now what we shall be doing is, let us take one simple project which is a course registration form. If you build that end to end, everything is covered in the forms. Now observe. So I'll directly open the output. So where is that if you ask me? It is over here. This is the expected output for now. Can you guys create it? Now observe one thing. What is the type? Text. This one, text. This one, you're wrong. Telephone. Tell sir, I'm telling. Telephone is the type. Why? Because if you give number, it is like increase, decrease. You can see list items, you can increase, decrease. That button you will get. But the type is TEL. Next, email ID. Email is the type. Next, password. Password is the type. Confirm password. Confirm password type is not there. Password only. Are you understanding? Next, date of birth. Now you observe here. Can you see one calendar is opening? Rocket science code I have not typed. Type is date. That's all. Date. Are you understanding? Next, gender. If you notice one thing, male, female, custom. Now the question is, what is the type if you ask me? Radio. Looks like a radio button, radio. And the significance of radio means you are trying to say that only one option. No human being in this world will say I am male, at the same time female, at the same time others. Are you understanding? So only one gender should be selected. Next, can you see this drop down? This is not an input at all. This is not an input. Select a tag you should use. Multiple options you have, option tags you should use. Next, if I go a bit down, and what is the type? Reset is the type. Next, again this is a drop down, and what is the type? Check box. And this is nothing but text area, submit button, end of the story. If you build this one form, all the types which are very important will be covered. Shall we quickly do this? Yes, observe. So I'll keep side by side. So this I'll keep it over here, and my Visual Studio I'll keep it over here. I will create one brand new file known as registration form.html. Great. Now tell me what is the first thing. Ultimately, before form, course registration form is a H1. I can just go and say one H1. I'll just take this content, I will paste it. Next, now tell me form tag. So I can just go over here and create something known as form. Okay. Now tell me what I should do. Since you understood the previous thing, now I hope you can tell it right. So first and foremost, just go over here and just say label. What is the label for? First name. So I'll say F name. And what is the content that should be visible? I'll say first name. That's it. So my particular output I will open in a new tab. Observe. This is our output. Great. One second. Where is so this is how the form actually looks if you apply CSS. Even better output I'll show you. So same form what we are trying to create. Observe very carefully. So where is our form? Yeah. Same form will be actually converted into like the same thing, only content is not changing, but the way you applied CSS has changed it 360 degrees. But let me tell you, there are some functionalities which directly you can't see. If you notice one thing, if I click, it is suggesting, do you want to give your name? Yes, I want to give my name. If I remove it outside, suggestion gone. Again, if I click over here, it is trying to ask, do you want to give your surname? Yes. If I click over here, a mobile number. Why my mobile number is coming? Okay. Next, if I click on email, you can see. And if I give correct email ID, tick mark. If I give wrong email ID, cross mark. So all these in CSS, we can easily do it. But today, we'll just focus on the structure. Okay. So many things are there that we will see it later. But now, observe the I'll keep this only as a reference. Okay. Great. Next, label is the first name. Next, input you should give. So I'll just go over here and say input. So what is input? Text only. So let us give the name attribute right now itself. So I'll say name is for F name, which is first name, and ID also I'll maintain the same. So I'll say ID is also F name. Sir, now why are you giving name and ID? You will realize in a moment. Don't worry about it. Next. Next, what I should do? See, time pass is not happening over here. Let me tell you. Some people are busy in mobiles. Some people are doing something, whatever you want. This is not your college. It doesn't even take for me some 1 or 2 minutes to make you to stand up and make you to get outside the class. But I am not here to do that particular thing. The intentions are different in this class. Ultimately, upskilling yourself is most important. But some people have some different aspirations, then this is not the right place for you. There are hundreds of places where people are ready to say what are the words you want to hear from your ears. But here, we are here to speak reality, ground reality. So there are many people who will say sugar-coated words. Hey, 2026 are layoff and all, no? No problem, you will get a job, 100%. What you will get a job if you don't have a skill? Are you understanding? So, you are not realizing the fact, but in the next 2 or 3 months you will graduate out of the college. Then you will understand the reality. Still now you are not realizing. Let me tell you, I should not say this, again you will only feel bad, that is why I am just still controlling myself. In the 2026 batches, 3 batches are going on. I should not say, but yours is the least performing batch among December B1 and January 2026. Your batch is the least performing batch. I don't know why. It might be college, it might be region, it can be any aspect. But there is a possibility that you can change the perspective. That is completely in your hands. I do agree that you might be coming from a college which you don't even want to take the name of the college. But if you focus carefully, definitely you can change our perspective. Yes, our perspective. All the training team perspective, you can change it. And if you change our perspective, you are the one who is going to get the benefit out of it. Both in terms of support, everything. Of course, there is no partiality at all in this particular organization, but If you can perform better, solve all the assignments on time, come and ask more and more doubts, you will be recognized. Are you understanding? More knowledge you will be getting. You are sitting over there not understanding, don't listen. Who is forcing you to listen? At least watch the recording. That is why second option also is there for you. And after that you can come and ask me the doubt. I will not say, hey, you did not listen the class. I will not say get lost. I will not say all those things. I will be happy enough to tell the same thing 100 times also. So you are for a purpose, fulfill the purpose. If you get deviated, again same story will repeat. What happened in your college? I think more than me you know better what happened in your college. So think about it. So your parents are having so many hopes on you, but this is the reality what you are doing over here. Some people are sleeping, some people don't even have seriousness. Anyways, again it will become a different class, philosophy class it will happen, but anyways, we are in HTML class, let us discuss. So next I should give one label. So I'll just go and say one label. And what is a label for surname? So I'll say yes name. And what is the visible content? Surname. I'll just type surname. Now if I save it, if I go to our output, you can see it is working, but there is one expectation. After every input, give a break. So I'll just go over here and give one break. That's it. So now I hope you're able to see. Great. Let me minimize this because maximum screen is not required. Great. So what is the next thing if you ask me? It is nothing but mobile number. So I'll just go over here. By the way, is it okay for me if I split it like this and teach you? Is it you are comfortable? Okay, great. Because you should be the most comfortable person on this planet Earth, right? That is why. So I'll just go over here. Next, one input I would like to give. What is the input? Text only. There is no change in that. So I'll just copy this name and ID. I'll copy. Same thing I'll substitute, but instead of F, I'll make it as yes. Over here also I'll make it as yes. That's it. Next, after input one break I should give, so I'll just go and say break. Next, again label, so I'll just go and say label. This label is for mobile number, I'll say MOB or your choice, no objection in that. I'll just go and say mobile number. Next, go to the next line, say input tag, put. It is not text. Mobile number is not a text. If you say number, let us see number first, okay? I'll say number. If I save it, if I go back, observe the output. I'll type my number and you can see, oh, I can increase 111. Nah? Okay, I'll just go over here, I'll increase. Should you give this choice for a user? No. That is not ingredients list, increase one by one. So the type is not number. In some places you can use number, for example, age. Because age one by one you should increase. So I will just go and say telephone, that's it. You can see there is an option on its telephone. Now observe, there is no increase or decrease, there is no that option. Did you understand? If you want age, give number. If you want telephone number, say telephone, that's it. And obviously I'll say name attribute, this is for mobile number, I'll say MOB, and ID also is for MOB itself. Understanding? Great. Next. Now I think you can face one problem. Sir, alignment issue is there? No, that we will see it last. Okay, don't worry. Great. Next, let us quickly complete it. Can you see some examples also? What is this? Placeholder. So first we'll create. After input, one break. Next, break I have given, right? Label. So I'll just go and say label. So what is a label? It is for email. So I'll say for email. What is the full form of email? Electronic mail. Thank you. You know general knowledge. So I'll just go and say input, but some people don't even know that. No problem. What is the type? Email. So I'll just go and say email. And the name for this input is email only. And the ID is also email only. I'll just say email. That's it. Next, after this one break so that it will go to the next line. Next, one label. What is the label? Password. So I'll say it is for password. And I'll just go and say the visible text for the user should be password only. Next, in the next line, I'll give one input. What is input? Type is password, so I'll say password, and you know that name is also password and ID is also password. That's it. This much clarity I hope you are getting. Great. Now let me give one break tag. Next I'll go to the next line. Next, again it's label. This time what is the label? Confirm password. I think I can same copy paste once again because one text is changing, that's it. I'll copy it over here. Instead of me typing again, I can paste it. But one thing should change. Label is for, I'll say C password, confirm password. Next, this also, content should also change. So I'll say confirm password. Type is password only, but name can be C password, ID can be C password. There is no type known as confirm password because ultimately type is password, common sense, okay, great. Next, date of birth, now observe. Next, I'll just go over here and say one label, and the label is for DOB, and over here also I'll say date of birth. And in the next line, I'll just give one input. And now what is the type of input? If you ask me date, I can just go and say date. You can give time also. You can see over here, if I say time, time will come actually. First let us see date. If I go and say date, if I save it, if I go back to my output, you can see calendar you are able to see. Automatically you will get the current local system calendar you will get. If I just go and say time, so now can you see time? So minutes, 24 hours format. You can see hours and minutes. I hope you are understanding. So that is possible. So I hope you are able to see. You can see local time date, date time also you can give, which means if I select this time and date both at the same time you can select. So these are different things, but as per our expectation just date is sufficient, but you can experiment all those things. Clear? Now observe. We are almost heading to the last part. So now name attribute is nothing but DOB only, and ID is also date of birth. Great. One break is compulsory. Next, I'll just go and give one label over here. What is the label for? Age. So I'll just go and say age. And visible content also should be age itself. And in the next line, I'll say one input. What is input? Now it is number. I should just go and say number. And it is having a name known as age itself. And I'll say ID is also age only. That's it. This much clarity you got it. Now observe, if I go back to my output, you can see anything if I enter, I can increase, I can decrease. Imagine this course registration form is not for a kid, major, at least 18 years you should have. I need to set some parameters over here that minimum age is 18, maximum age is 65. How can you do this if you ask me? Min, max, that's it. Which means you can go over here extra information. So I can say min. Can you see minimum? Minimum age entering should be 18. Next, give a space and say maximum age which people will enter should not exceed 65. I hope you are able to see. That you will not see at this moment. When you are submitting, then you will see that warning. Understanding? Great. Okay, sir. This much clarity we have got. What is the next thing? Now this is something very interesting. Observe very carefully. Many people get confused here only. Observe. First of all, this I think it is easy only for you. It is nothing but label. So I'll just go and say label. What is the purpose of label? Gender. I'll say G. G is sufficient. But visible content is gender. So I'll say gender. Now observe. How many inputs should I give? One input or three inputs? Three inputs, because every button is different input. So I should just go and say input multiplied by 3. But automatically it is taking text. Okay, I'll not say multiplied by 3, you'll get confused. So I'll say input, and what is the type if you ask me? Radio. If I save it, if I go over here, can you see that radio? I think we have forgot to give that break tag. So I'll just go over here and say BR. Are you understanding? Button you got? Yes. But beside the button, can you see one text? The text how to get? Simple. Go over here and type mail. I hope you are able to see. But I want you to think. 6 days of HTML you have learned, right? Is this mail available inside any tag or randomly in the air you wrote? Outside the tag you have written, which is restricted. In the sense you can see the output. But imagine I will tell you to select this text and apply some styling. How will you apply? Is the question. There is no way to select it. So what you should do? Compulsory one particular, maybe span tag you can use, label also you can use, that is your choice. Okay. So there are many options, that is your choice. Why I am saying span specifically, I can use paragraph also, right? But it will go to the next line. That is the problem. If I just go and say p tag, That is the problem. So that is the reason I'll not use p tag. Instead, I'll use span inside this if I say mail. Now you can say no problem. Or since however you're discussing with forms itself, you make it as label, that's it. That is also fine, no issues. Did you understand? That is also fine. Because ultimately what is the label purpose? To show the content. Showing only, right? I hope you're understanding. Great. Now tell me what I should do. One more input I should give. So I'll say input, type is radio, and now over here, what I should say, one label, and the label for you can just ignore over here, not required. I can just say female. Next, same thing in the next line, I'll say input, one more radio, I'll say radio, and over here, I'll just give one label, and the label for you can just ignore for this because it's not required. If you want, you can give no issues. I'll say others. That's it. Now observe, there is one problem. What is the problem? Gender is male, at the same time female, at the same time others. But this should not happen, no? If this should not happen, one important attribute I was discussing. Tell me, one attribute is missing whatever latest I have done when it compares to the previous. Whatever name attribute have you given for them? No. Value attribute have you given, or should I give or should I not give? You should give, because tell me, how do you say that this button is for male only? Sir, eyes gone for you, 4 eyes you have, no, can't you see this text male? Let me tell you, if I remove these labels, you just tell me, this I will delete, this I will delete, this also I will delete. Now tell me, okay, now tell me which button is for male, which button is for female. First button, sir, I did not say first button, no. Did you understand? Now who is asking this question? Server is asking. Are you understanding? Till here, server will never question you. Why? Because user only will give all these inputs, right? Now you tell me, radio button you gave, but is user typing I am male? He is selecting that I am a male, or she is selecting she is female. But how will server know that second option is for female? How will server know? Are you understanding? Now it is the job of a developer to provide value attribute for first radio is male, value for second radio button is female, value attribute for third button is others. Then your server will understand, oh, if user has selected second option, she might be a female. Now did you understand the significance of value attribute? Which means over here, I will just go and 1 second, let me format it properly, otherwise you'll get confused. So I'll just undo it. Great. Now observe. Now what I should be doing is, whatever radio button you are giving, first and foremost, value you should only provide. If anyone selects the first option, now, sir, what value should I give? That depends upon what your server is expecting. Maybe server might expect M, you should give only M. If server is expecting small case m male, you can give that also. But server is smart, 2 lowercase method if you use, you can just make it small case also. That's a different story that your backend will take care, okay. So I should just go and say value, and I'll just say female. Next, third button, you should only provide, I'll say value is others. Did you understand? Great. Now if I save it, if I select male, but still I'm able to select female, still I'm able to select others, one thing is missing. Which attribute? Name attribute is missing. Now observe, tell me what is the name you wanted to give? Gender only. So I'll just go and say name is gender, okay. Over here also, I'll say name attribute is gender. Over here also, I'll just go and say name attribute is gender. Now the question is, why did I provide same name? They belong to same category. Now observe, just if you do this small step, either male or female or others, that's all. Now did you understand the significance of name attribute? That's all. Did you understand? But some smart people, you know, this is gender 1, this is gender 2, this is gender 3. Again same story will repeat. Again I can select male, female and others. So now what did you understand? Since they belong to the same category, you should say same name. Now your browser will understand, oh, these all 3 inputs belong to same category, so I should allow only one option. That is the behavior of radio button. Only one option your browser will allow you. But you tell me, if you don't give name attribute, how will your browser decide they belong to same category or not? So name attribute is to tell to the browser these guys belongs to this same category gender. And that can be anything. You can say gender, gender, gender. That is your choice. This much clarity you got it? Great. Last but not least, there are few more things. Now this is again very interesting. Observe. This is not an input tag, by the way. First, select country is a text. So I'll just go over here and give one. By the way, break I think we have not given. So after last thing, I'll give one break. In the next line, I'll say one label, and this is for select country. And visible content, I'll give it over here. That star I will remove it. Next, now the question is, input is not the tag. So drop down means what? You are selecting options, select tag you should use, which means I can just go and say select. Are you understanding? Again you can see name ID it is asking, and again what is the name I'll give if you ask me, same thing only I'll give. So this is for select country, ID also I'll give the same. Now the question is, if I save it, if I go back, you can see drop down, but did you give any options? No. So that options how should you give if you ask me? Inside select option tag you should use. Did you understand? How many options you want? 3 options. Just make sure you are giving 3 options. First option, can you tell me what is the first option? India. So I'll just go and say India. Second option is nothing but USA. Third option was nothing but Russia, China, whatever you want you can give. Did you understand this much? Now observe, if I just go here and now if I select, you can see the drop down. So what you should give? Options you should give. Now the question is, do you think server will understand if you select India? Oh, server realized, oh, this guy selected India. Will server understand? Think carefully and tell me. Impossible, because India what you are able to see, that is just for visual purpose. If I remove this, you will not see anything. Observe. If I just remove the visible content India, USA, Russia. Now observe, if I save it, see 3 options are there. What is India, what is USA? No option at all. So your server should understand means what I should do, value attribute you should give as a developer. Because selecting means value you should give. Typing means value user only will give. Are you understanding? Great. So now compulsory, I'll just go here and say what is the value? Whatever backend is expecting, I'll say I and D, this is US and this is RS. Just normally I have given, you can give anything. That's all. Did you understand? Great. Now if I go over here, last and final thing, upload picture it seems. So you can see file is getting opened. So that should be happening. How, sir? Ultimately, let me give one break. Next. In the next line, ultimately it is label. So label is for upload. So I'll just go and say upload your picture or resume, whatever. I'll say upload your resume. Next. Input only. What can be the type of input? File. If I scroll, can you see one type known as file? This will accept MP3, MP4, PDF, doc, every file it will accept. Sir, what is the proof? Just click on choose files. You can see videos it is accepting, PDFs it is accepting. If I say arjunreddy.pdf, you can see that name also got displayed automatically. So now type is file. What is name? Upload only. I'll copy. I will substitute. Over here also I will substitute. That's it. Now if I go back to my output, you can see. If I select some resume.pdf, you can see that name. Did you understand? So I hope you got the clarity. Any questions still here? Great. Now, can I expect you guys to complete the remaining part? Tell me, what are the tags over here? Select tag, and 4 options are there: Python full stack, Java full stack, MERN stack and core Java. Some 4 options you can give. Next, delivery mode, either online or offline. What is this? Radio. And if you want to give check boxes, it is input type check box. Next, what is this? It's again, what is this if you ask me? Text area. So that is not an input. You should just go and say the tag itself is. Now before this text area, I would like to give one simple label and I'll say feedback. So I'll say feedback. Now tell me what is the problem. Break is not there, so I'll just give one break. After feedback also I want to give one break. Now it looks good, but it is very small, right? So now what you can control, if you ask me, rows and columns you can control. First let us give this label. For attribute is feedback, so let's say feedback, and name ID is also same. Okay, now observe. You should give something known as rows. In number you should give, for example, I'll say 4 rows. Columns, I'll say columns, maybe some 10 columns. Did you understand? Oh, 10 is very less, so I'll say maybe 40 columns. One thing, this has one small disadvantage. You can recess however. If I go to my form, you can see resize only option is not there, because CSS, if you know, you can disable it. Are you understanding? You want to know now itself? You will know in CSS, but I'll tell you a glimpse, I'll tell you a shortcut. Style should be resize :none, that's it. Resize none, if you say, you will get. That's it. I hope structure is clear for everyone. Great. Now if I refresh, again original thing will come back. Last but not least, one submit button is missing. I'll say input type is none other than submit. That's all. Maybe break is missing. I'll just go and say break. Now if I go and give my data, observe. Quickly I'll give some data. I'll just go and say hash it like this. Next I'll give my name, and I'll just go and give some mobile number. I'll give an email ID. I'll give one password 12345678. Confirm password 12345678. Date of birth, today only I born. Next, age 1 year old. Next, and by the way, if you notice one thing, I'll show you one thing. Mail, select country India, upload your resume, maybe Arjun Reddy thing, and feedback good. Submit. What did you get? You can clearly notice value must be greater than or equal to 18. You are a kid, you should not do that. So what you should say, maybe 16 if you give also, unfortunately not possible. So sweet 16 and all you can't give. So I should give 18 only, minimum 18. I hope now if you click, it will get submitted. Did you understand? But now I want you to focus very, very carefully. This text, whatever you have, I will copy it. Before showing you what is there over there, observe very, very carefully. This is one of the most important part of today's class. Of course, course registration form we have actually built. So now in this particular course registration form, see whatever this form, one second, let me show it back. Yeah. Now over here, whatever data you are trying to give, you should understand very importantly that you might have given your name. That name can be anything. One second, I know it is not visible, one second. So whatever name you are actually typing, it can be anything, and whatever email you are typing, it can be anything. But ultimately, now once a user clicks on submit, URL of the server you might have given. Now the question is, if URL of the server you have given, how the data is sent? Via the browser only. But how? What is the syntax is most important. Observe very carefully. First and foremost, whenever you click on submit, first URL of the server will be there. In our use case, what is the server? Your computer only is the server. Now what is the first thing? 127 point some IP address you will see. After that, one question mark will be there. I am showing you the syntax, how data is sent. Now this particular question mark, after question mark what will be there if you ask me? Just now you gave something known as name attribute, you remember? So what will be there if you ask me? The first piece of data is name attribute, followed by one is equal to value. So whatever value you have sent, that value. Now that name equal to value is for the first piece of data. I hope you are understanding. Now when it comes to second piece of data, again name and value should be there. Now how will it separate if you ask me? By using one ampersand. You know ampersand, end symbol, that one. Next, again what will repeat? Name value only will repeat, which means same name value will again repeat. So if I take it and if I just paste it, you can clearly notice. Are you understanding? So this is how data from the client will reach the server, and whatever syntax you are able to see, there is one hi-fi terminology for that, and that is none other than, one second, query string. So one second, yeah, it is none other than query string. Now what is the proof? So really data is sent like that. What is the proof? You can just go to your browser. Just now you clicked submit. I copied the URL, you remember. Now if I show you that, you will realize this is the exact syntax that your particular form has actually sent the data. Observe very carefully. Now if I just go back to my Visual Studio, I have already cut it. Now let me maximize the screen. I'll paste it. Observe very carefully. So yes, now observe. Starting from here all the way till here is the URL of your server. As of now your system only is the server. But if you have given some Thai portal server, that will be the address. After that, name, f name. Where did I give f name? In the name attribute is equal to, what is the value? Whatever I typed. Next, separation ampersand. Yes name, did I give as a name attribute? Yes. Is equal to t, I typed it. Next, and mobile number, MOB is name attribute, is equal to whatever mobile number I typed. Next, email, did I type it as a name attribute? Yes. Is equal to whatever I type. Of course, @ and all you will not see, it got encrypted to percentage. Next, like that, again if I continue, observe. Password also you can see. Now observe over here. Next, password is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Confirm password also is the same. After that, if I just scroll even a bit, you can notice date of birth, whatever date I selected. Next, ampersand, you can see mail, select country, India, upload, all those things. Now, this no one will teach you. To be very honest, when someone is teaching you forms, they will not teach all these things. They will just say form tag, input, done. But I am not here to just do done. Are you understanding? I am here to drill so that you will understand it in a deeper manner. So now, I was just saying name attribute, value attribute, but now practically you are able to see. So the most important purpose of name and value attribute is to send the data for the your particular server. Now server's job is just to collect this entire URL. It will break it down however it want, it will use the data. That is server. In the sense backend code you should write it. So this much clarity you have got it. Great. So this is all about your form. Did everyone understand? Any confusions? So I want each and every one of you to create the same form before coming to tomorrow's class. And let me tell you, this exact form is already available as an assignment for you in the Thai portal HTML CSS labs. Clear? Great. So that is one thing I want each one of you to do. Great. Anyways, but one last thing is pending. If I go back over here, if you notice how to get this personal details, how to get that? Very simple. Entire form you understood. Now to get this particular thing, there is one more tag. But before that, can you see proper alignment is there? Okay, so you might think, sir, CSS is there, no? Okay, I'll show HTML only. Proper alignment is there or not? Look at your form. Are you understand? This text because I typed you are able to see. Now, what will you do? Non-breaking spaces will you give? It will be a nightmare for you. Some 20 non-breaking spaces, here maybe some 15, like that it is going to be a nightmare. Now my question is, if you want to get that alignment, tell me which of the previous concept in HTML will you use? Think carefully, you can do it. One of the previous concept in HTML, if you apply on this form, you will get proper alignment. Padding. Padding is not an HTML concept, my dear friend. Someone told correctly. It is none other than tables. Are you understanding? Tables is the one who will make it aligned properly. Now, How can you think about it as a table? Simple, row 1, row 2, row 3, like that how many lines are there? That many rows. After that what you will do? In each row, first TD, second TD. That's it. So in a first TD what should be there? Label. In the second TD what should be there? Input. Did you understand? You will get the proper structure. Observe. So now I will just show you for few things. Other things I want you to do it. Observe. So now what I will be doing is starting from here all the way till bottom, till here. Text area we can ignore. Till here I will cut it. In the sense I will keep it as it is itself. In the sense I will give some space and keep it. Now observe. 1 second. Yeah. Now over here I will just type table, and inside table tell me how many rows should I create? How many labels and inputs are there? That many. In our case, let us see. So if I just go over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 rows you should create, which means I can just go and say TR multiplied by 11. That's it. Now in every row, 2 TD is compulsory. So now what I'll be doing is, I can just go over here, Alt Shift all the way till last. I can say TD multiplied by 2. Now your job is take the label, put it over here. In all the first TDs, put the label. Clear? So it is a bit patience you require to do this. Otherwise it will be very frustrating for sure, because copy paste you should do. So I'll just go over here. First label I will cut it. I'll go and place it in the first TD. Save it, format it. Next, take the input, cut it, go over here in the second TD of first row. Next, I'll go over here and just take this particular label. I will cut it. I will go over here and paste it over here. Next, I'll go over here. Again, I told you some patience is required for sure. So I'll just go over here and paste it. Sorry, I have not. 1 second. If I just go over here, yeah, this label I will cut it. I will just go over here and paste it. Oh, sorry, something happened. Okay, this input I will cut it. I'll just go and paste it. This boring job, I hope you can do it, right? Yeah. So again, I'll just show it for 3 labels, so with which full clarity you will get. So I'll just go over here, paste it over here, and last but not least, this one input I will cut it. I will go all the way till top and let me format it over here. I will paste it. So really formatting is happening or not? Let us try to check. Did you understand? See, formatting is happening. Can I expect you guys to continue for all those things? Or you want me to do that boring job? You can do it, right? Great. So that is what is my expectation. Make sure everyone is completing this form. Clear? Great. To summarize today's class, one quick understanding. See, there are a few other attributes which we have not discussed today. We will discuss it tomorrow, okay? So what are the next things if you ask me? Already we have seen this. Yes. In form tags, we have seen form tag, input, label, text area, select, option, buttons we have seen, field set we have not yet seen. So field set means that boundary you will get, that we will see in a moment. And after that, legend tag. Not your Balai Babu legend. That legend tag will give that, you saw that personal details, that text should be inside legend tag. Simple, great. Few attributes we'll try to discuss. Form tag has action, has method, post get HTTP method, autocomplete. Now what is autocomplete? If you give autocomplete, in your browser, if you have filled a previous form, automatically it will give you suggestions. Did you see all the suggestions that when I was typing? That if you give autocomplete, it will work. Clear? Next, input. What are the inputs you have seen? Type attribute, name attribute, value attribute, placeholder we have seen, required we have seen, and now the checked we have not seen. Now checked, if you want, you should use it for your particular radio buttons, and you should use it for your check boxes. That we will see it next class, not an issue. Next, disabled. What will disabled do if you ask me? That input, you can't even touch it. You can't edit anything. Did you see in our CSS, one Tap Academy I was not able to anything. That was disabled. Similarly, read only also you can see, which means it is actually looking good only, but you can't edit. There is a difference. It will be somewhat shading. Minimum, maximum, I hope you have seen. Next, For label, for attribute, we understood. Next, text area, again name, rows, column, placeholder you can give, required, disabled, read only, maximum length also you can give, which means how many characters does a user should enter, that you can decide with maximum length. That we will see in a moment. Next, select tag, you can say disabled. Imagine this, nowadays USA is doing some extra curricular activities with India. I don't want users to select USA, I can disable USA. Are you understanding? So I can just say disabled. Similarly, option tag we have seen, value, selected you can say, automatically what you want to select, that you can say selected. Next, for that also disabled is possible. Next, button tag, again type, name, disabled, that I hope you know. And for field set and legend, nothing is there. Observe. So what are the pending things we'll complete and we can conclude today's class. So now what you should do is, take this entire thing, whatever form you have, so all the way till here, I will cut it. You should use one tag known as field set. Inside this you should paste it, so that you'll get that border. Did you see one border? Now the problem is, you have not used it properly, that is the reason, because closing you have not given properly, I think so, but you will get one border properly, and the text if you want, you should give something known as legend tag. If I just go here and inside this, the problem is this field set should have been outside the table, that is the only problem. Okay. Now also, okay, this I should close it, great. Did you understand? Great. Inside this I will say legend. What is the text? Personal details. Just go and say personal details. That's it. Now if you apply some CSS, it looks amazing the way I have shown you. Now observe. See, whenever someone clicks on a drop down, USA I should disable. Now what I can do is, where is it available? In the select tag. If I go to select, which option you want to disable? USA. Just go and say disabled. Now observe. See, my mouse is not even going on it. Are you understanding? It's very, very simple itself. Imagine many of the people who are filling this form are female candidates, because you know, right, HCL, Accenture, Infosys, separately for female they will send some drive, but for separately for male there are no drives. Gender discrimination, but anyways. So now what I can do is, wherever you have this particular gender, go to that particular area. Imagine when the form loads for the first time, automatically it should be female. Just go to female. Where is female? Over here. In input only you should go and just say this is checked. See, if I refresh, automatically it is female. Are you understanding? Sir, what if I give checked for male also at the same time? No problem, you can have that questions. Again you can say female only. Why? Because the latest checked will be considered. Automatically male and female will not get selected if you thought like that. Understanding? I hope you got the clarity. But same checked if I give for others, what will happen? Others will be selected. Latest checked will be selected. So I hope you got the clarity. What else was missing? Disabled, right? You can just go and say, for example, confirm password I want to disable. You can just go here and let us assume age I want to make it disabled. I can just go and say disable. I think this we can't make it as disabled. So few things we can make it as disabled. Few things you can make it as read only. Are you understanding? For example, that's in this form there is nothing much to be discussed. I hope this much clarity you got. Great. So that is all about your particular thing. I think few things you can experiment on your own. This is all about your forms. Did you understand? Great. So as a task, you should compulsory complete your login form, and you should also make sure. Some people are already frustrated, so already 6:15. You are not interested, just open the door, get lost. No one is asking you, but who are interested for them. That's all. Okay. So there is one project known as travel destination that I want you to complete. That is available in the TiE portal. Okay. So that is the last project. If you complete, what is there in this if you ask me? All the previous things are covered. Buttons are covered. All your particular anchor tags are covered. Your image tags, iframe tags and form, everything is covered in this project. And this is the last project, and one small project will build, and tomorrow we can conclude HTML. Sir, that's all, sir, that's it. which you could not learn in 3 months. I made it happen in the 6 to 7 days. And if you don't believe me, you can search ChatGPT, Gemini, whichever AI tool. These are the tags you should learn. Are you understanding? If anything was missing, maybe I have reserved it for CSS. In CSS, when it is used, there I might have introduced it. Are you understanding? So that is all about your forms. I hope somewhat interesting and you understood how exactly forms work in this world. So that's it for today. Any questions you have, you can come and meet me. And one last announcement I would like to make. 2026 people, Deloitte is hiring. Please make sure you are going to the official website of the Deloitte. We have put a banner, apply it. Are you understanding? Don't miss out this opportunity. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you. Usually what auto way if you notice what when it is loaded for the first time, like if the video is very big, it not clear, sometimes it's not clear because of computer configuration or browser restrictions. That is not so I think some at least one time maybe browser problem or maybe system problem or maybe it is your browser is not supporting that 40 MB video. Drive small video. Yeah, out of payments you can give muted. You give muted also. It is working when you give muted. See, I'll tell you one thing. Why muted is compulsory? Because imagine a user came to your website. Open your website. Like this sound if it comes.